Okay, so we are live. So let's start on this. This is a beautiful sutta for practice. So it is in the Sanyukta Nikaya. So it is 22.56. It is Upadana Paripavatta. What it means is that finding out the reason for grasping and how to come out of grasping. So we had taken this sutta some time ago, but we could not complete it totally. So it would be a good thing to complete and also meditate on that. So the sutta talks about these five aggregates of grasping, which is Rupa Upadana Khanda, Vedana Upadana Khanda, Sanya Upadana Khanda, Sankhara Upadana Khanda, and Vinyana Upadana Khanda. Now he also says that what is he meaning by the Rupa Upadana Khanda, and what is Vedana and Sanya, Sankhara and Vinyana, using the Four Noble Truths. So what is the advantage of this sutta for meditation is that we'll get the ability to meditate on the Four Noble Truths and also get rid of the upadana, the holding on to of the aggregates. So he says that how to understand. So he says, I did not understand early on, and hence I did not inform that I have achieved something, but only when I truly understood these five grasping aggregates from four perspectives, that is the Four Noble Truth perspective, then he announced his supreme perfect awakening in this world with its gods and maras and brahmas and the population of people with ascetics and brahmins and gods and humans. So what it would mean for us is that, let's say we are at a sotapanna level, we could then meditate upon this aggregates, and then you will or we will be able to move into a sakadagami state and the anagami and arhat state only with this sutta, if we were to work it out continuously and consistently. And yesterday when we met, there were a lot of discussions on the vedana, on this rupa and all that, so, and sanya and all that. And Sachin had some good questions. So this sutta would be a very good thing to take, which will help all of us to meditate on that and also experience what that should be experienced. So this is the aspect of going through this sutta. So what we need to do is that we need to understand the four perspectives. Okay, so he talks about this perspective when we look at the rupa. He uses a key word called as abhyanasim. Abha is what is to be known, anyasim. Anya is in a different way. So knowing things in a different way. So now let's say I call this body is called as Vilas, and I am taking this to be Vilas. So now what happens here is that I'm used to this definition of Vilas for a long time. So from the time I have taken birth till now, to the time, meaning to say that when I first understood that this is my name and this is what I am, these are my parents and this is all of that, till date, I have in my mind that this body is representation of Vilas. Okay. Abhi anyasim is that looking it from a different perspective, not from the same perspective. Okay, so I will now try to look from a different perspective. So he says that first you understand what is this body. So he says when you call as rupa, what it includes. In that sutta, if I see what he says is that I should know the form, what it is, its origin, Rupa Samudayam, Rupa Nirodha, and Nirodha Gami Patipada. So he makes it into a Four Noble Truth format. So first thing we need to know is what is this form. So for meditation subject, what I can do is that after I establish Sila, that is morality of Panatipata and all that, what I can do now is to observe myself like I'm watching it on the video, the camera is on. So if I were to sit and see this whole body, it's very clear that it is coming from food. If there were no food to be given, this body will either shrink, and if I eat more food, it will expand. So it's not that I am expanding or I am contracting, it is because of the food alone this is happening. But how does the food come to be? It is coming to be made out of four elements, the Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. So when I look at Rupa, it only means these four elements and nothing else. And when I say Patavi Dhatu, these are the 20 things what I can see, like in the case of I can see about hairs and the body hairs. Then I can take the skin, I can take the bones, and I can take the teeth, and I can consider the nails, and I can consider the flesh. This is sufficient for me to sit and watch what happens. As I am speaking, I can see what is happening. Now this mouth portion is the space. So the space is there, the sound is going to be there. So what I can watch is that wherever there are holes, there is going to be sound. So space and sound can be felt. In the same way, if there is Patavi Dhatu, then there will be hardness and softness. And Patavi has color. So I can see that I have a color and other people sitting also have their own color. They have not put the color, but the color is there based upon the Patavi. So this is the way I can now establish Samadhi on this feature, Patavi. And I can look at Apo in terms of sweat, in terms of the grease which I can see on my head, like the oily thing, and then I can look at the saliva, then I can look at the urine, and all of that gives me a clarity that it's not me, it's got nothing to do with me. So I can now meditate on the Patavi Dhatu and the Apo Dhatu. And then I can look at the Tejo Dhatu, the heat which is there, and the stomach which is having the heat for able to digest the food. And then I can get fever, the body can get fever, not I getting fever, it's the body which can get into fever. So I can observe this, and Vayu. So I can look at the in-breath, out-breath, then I can see the air rising up and going down, and then the stomach making some sound, then the intestine making some sound, and then I can watch that. So this steps of doing gives me the aspect of Rupa. Now Abhi-anyasim happens because now I'm seeing it in a different way, a different perspective. So if I look at the SN22.56 and the English translation, what they have put is perspective, which is an absolute right thing to do, because I am now looking from a different perspective. I am not looking it as Vilas. I am not looking it as my body. So I am exactly doing what is indicated in that sutta. So what I need to do is sit down, calmly look at myself, this body, myself means this body, and see what it consists of. It consists of 4 elements, and I can certainly see the 4 elements. In that 4 elements, I cannot see anybody as Vilas. Why? Because externally also the same thing is there. Internally also the same thing is there. Externally, as in the case that if I call somebody as Sachin and somebody as Naveen and somebody as Vishal who are attending this, they exactly have the same kind. There's no difference. Saliva is saliva, sweat is sweat, urine is urine. In the same way, hair is a hair, body hair is a hair. Okay, then there is skin, there is nails, and there is flesh and all that. Whether it's a female or a male, it doesn't matter. What matters is what it consists of. Only these. So, Ajjatta Bahidda, internal and external, I am going to be meditating on the same. So how long should I meditate? As long as I am able to see it in a different perspective. What should happen is that I should lose this name called as Vilas and association with the name. And then what happens? And then I come into the second noble truth where he says, Ahara Samudaya, Rupa Samadayo. Okay, so with food, this is getting manufactured. I am not eating. It's the food which makes this happen. So I have got nothing to do with food. So first I understood the 4 elements. Then I have come into the what is the second noble truth. How does it happen? With food it happens. So now, whether Naveen is going to eat or Sachin is going to eat or Vishal is going to eat or Vilas is going to eat, eating is eating. That means the elements get exhausted. We need to replenish these elements. Simple. So, Ahara Samudayo, Rupa Samudayo, Ahara Nirodho, Rupa Nirodho. Now we come to the cessation, which is coming out of it. So if I don't give food, this body shrinks. I have not shrunk. The body is shrinking. Now somebody can ask me that, hey Vilas, you have gone lean. But Vilas has not gone lean, nor he has gone fat. It's the body which is lean or the body which is fat. And so now there is no fighting with myself that I am lean, I am fat, I am tall, I am short, I am bald, I am having hairs, I am this, I am that. All that is removed. It's literally Nirodha. Okay. And how did I come into this? What was my practice? So let's take the practice. Sammaditthi. So what was my ditti? Michha ditti. Is that I am Vilas and this body is Vilas. Now the Sammaditthi is that because of the food, this body is coming. If the food is not there, nobody will get any body, any form. And the form is only 4. Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. Only 4 things. So now I got the right view. There is no person there. It's just a body which is made out of 4 elements. And a better word to use is kaya, which is a collection. So it is collection of 4 elements and nothing else. Samma Sankappo. So if I come to the second one, the determination is that I will add 3 things there. I will have, the first thing is that Nekkamma Sankappo, because now I know I have got nothing to do with this body. or with anybody's body. So nekkhamma is exactly cutting out attachment. Instead of that, we're getting into renunciation. So nekkhamma is to renounce, to give up. Abhyapada sankappo. Now there is nothing to have abhyapada, hatredness, because everybody has the same body. Colors vary depending upon the mud. It's not dependent on the person. It's dependent on what is there in the seed. Whatever is there in the seed, it is getting manifested. So if the dark seed is there, the skin turns dark. If it is a light skin is there, it turns into light skin. If it is fair skin is there, it turns into fair skin. If a brown skin is there, it turns into brown skin. That's all. Nothing else which is happening. And the tall and the short and the fat and the lean are all part of the same seed. So there is nothing I need to be worried about when I see somebody. Okay, so that calms me down. So nekkhamma sankappo, abhyapada sankappo, avihimsa sankappo. So I will stop any violent action, any action that can do the himsa, violence, on this body or on somebody's body. They both are the same. So sammadhitti, Four Noble Truths, Samma Sankappo, these three things. Samma Vacha, now what I am going to do is, looking at this body, there is no point in telling lies, there is no point in having harsh speech, there is no point in doing slander, then there is no point in wasting time and talking some nonsense. It's of no use. Because this mouth and the sound is just a sound. Because the space is there in the mouth region and there is a vocal cord and it shakes and the sound will come. So it's all about how to make use of the sound. So for that I don't have to tell lies, I don't have to basically slander someone, raising somebody and reducing somebody. Neither I want to use any harsh speech, nor there's no need for me to just keep on talking on something or the other. Especially politics and this and that, they just waste time. There's nothing to be gained out of those aspects. So now I do Samma Vacha. Samma Kammanta is about body. How am I going to use it? The Kamma. So I will not kill, I will not steal, I will not do sexual misconduct, because that is all three have to be done using the body. So Samma Kammanta. Samma Ajiva. So now right livelihood. Using this body, whatever it takes, which helps this body to develop in a proper way, I will do those tasks which will create the right livelihood. So Samma Ajiva. Then Samma Vayama, right effort. Using this body, I will put the right effort to remove those things which have arisen in the negative way. Stop those things which might make these immoral deeds arise. Develop something where I can basically create condition for the moral deeds, and then create or develop myself to have a better grasp on the moral deeds. So then I remember that this body is made up of only these four elements and nothing else. So Samma Sati, and now I can establish Samma Samadhi. Now the Samadhi is that I can enter into the first jhana and the second jhana and the third and the fourth using the form. Because by now I have a Nirodha which has happened. So this is the step using the rupa. So let's take around 10 minutes to just get into understanding the form of 4 elements as we discussed. Then with food, the form comes. Without food, there is no form. Then the samma ditti to samma samadhi. Let's do that for 10 minutes and then we will move into Vedana. Observe the breath and observe the body. Simultaneously do both of them. Look at the head hair, the body hair, teeth, nails, skin, flesh, bones. That is more than sufficient to investigate. Also take the sweat and the grease, saliva, urine, or anything that is having a liquid. Just observe. So we have done for solid and we have done for liquid, and then we will do now for the tejo. Look for that is warm, hot, and also the digesting. Now let us look at Vayu, the air. As you are watching the breath, you can see that the air is going in and air is going out. Then there is air in the bowels, air in the intestine, air which is moving up and moving down. Now I need to keep on replacing the food, which includes these 4 elements. So all food particles are made out of these 4. So the form development comes to an end when there is no food given. So this is not my form, and this doesn't belong to me, and this is not myself. So I can't say food belongs to me and food is mine and food is myself. Pathavi is not me or is not mine, and Pathavi doesn't belong to me, nor it is myself. So craving, conceit, and wrong view, tanha, mana, and atta. By this approach, the mind gives up upadana, or holding on or latching on to the form. Now let us do this for feelings. Now he says what is a feeling. So we need to understand the feeling. Yesterday we discussed about the dukkha and the sukha and the dukkha, the adukha and asukha vedana. Today we will take up how the feeling comes to be, which is based upon the phassa, contact. So he says chakku sampassaja vedana, sota sampassaja vedana, jivha sampassaja vedana, ghana sampassaja vedana, kaya sampassaja vedana, and mano sampassaja vedana. Now sampassa, there is a difference between phassa and sampassa. In the phassa, it's just a contact. In sampassa, it's a contact with an expectation. So it will have an expectation of sukha initially, but it can get dukkha and it can be neutral. So this is what is feeling. Feeling got through eye or ears or nose or tongue or body or the mind. And what feeling do I get? I get a pleasurable feeling, I get a painful feeling, I get a neutral feeling. But there is an expectation of getting a pleasurable feeling. Nobody wants displeasure. The sight should be good looking, the sound should be good to hear, the taste should be good, the touch should be good, and again the thought should be good, and the smells also should be good. The fragrance should be good. Now the second noble truth is to observe is that without contact, phassa samudayo, vedana samudayo. With contact alone, then the feeling comes. Contact with what? With what? Chakku with the sight, rupa. Sota with the sound, that is ear with the sound. Nose with the smell or fragrance. Tongue with the taste, body with the touch, and mind with the thoughts. And when the object moves away, the feeling also goes away. As long as there is a feeling in the mind, that is in the thoughts, it seems to be that object is still there. But as soon as some other object comes by, this object goes away. We could have seen when we are walking on the road, there are so many people crossing by. I see one girl and I get interested in her. She looks pretty, but then I see another girl, better one. The feeling of that pleasure with that girl goes away and a new pleasure arises by seeing another girl. Same thing with any other object. I would like to buy, let's say, a mobile phone. I go from one shop to another shop. Let's say I want to buy a Samsung mobile phone, and somebody shows me some other mobile phone which is far better than Samsung, like an iPhone, and it has a better look and feel. Immediately that Vedana which had arisen for Samsung fades away at the very instant and replaced by iPhone. So Phassa Samudayo, Vedana Samudayo, Phassa Nirodho, Vedana Nirodho. Now what's the Sammaditthi here? Sammaditthi is that knowing that the feeling is dependent on the form, on the rupa. As soon as that form is changed, so the feeling also changes. The remaining 7 things from Samma Sankappo to Samma Samadhi would be same like what I did for the form. Now what I can do is I can watch both the Rupa and the Vedana. I can now see that based upon the Rupa, the Upadana is going to be there. But the moment I dissect like this, the Upadana drops. So I am able to see the feeling in a different perspective. Right now, my heart has no feeling of possessing anything, because the Rupa is of non-possessing, and hence the Vedana is also non-possessing. So there is no feeling in the Chakku, Sotha, Ghana, Jivha, Kaya and Mano, because the Rupa is completely dissected. Observe this for next 5 minutes. Let's start on the perception. Now, what is perception? Perception is to know what kind it is. What is this rupa which I am seeing? What is this sound? What is this taste? What is this touch? What is this smell? And what are the thoughts? The sight, eyes cannot hear. They have the perception of sight alone. The ear has no sight. It cannot see. It has a perception of hearing the sound. Like that for the other senses. And this is called perception. But the distortion here is the Sukha Vedana and the Dukkha Vedana, along with the Adukha Sukha Vedana, when it interacts with the Sanya, which is perception, it gives rise to something which doesn't exist. It is basically, I take this body, this form as vilas, and hence the feeling of vilas comes, that I am vilas. There is a deeper feeling of vilas, that is the Chetasika Vedana. In that Chetasika Vedana, this is my eye and my ears and my nose and my tongue and my body and my mind comes into existence, and the perception of me has taken place. This is my sight and my sound and my taste and my touch and my smell and my touch and my thoughts. This has happened due to the phassa, contact. The same contact was the reason for the feeling, and the same contact is the reason for the perception. So the right perception is to see that sight is a sight, and the sound is a sound, a taste is a taste, and a touch is a touch, and a smell is a smell. And thoughts are thoughts. They are neither mine, they don't belong to me, and they are not myself. So Phassa Samudaya, Sanya Samudayo, Phassa Nirodha, Sanya Nirodho. As soon as the Rupa is gone, the Vedana and the Sanya also goes along with that. It fades away. As soon as somebody called as a wife enters, the perception of wife takes place. As soon as that body which was called as wife goes away, the perception of wife goes away. As long as there is wife standing in front of me, that form which I have taken to be the wife, there is a feeling of wife and there is a perception of wife. As soon as that form goes away, the perception of the wife also goes away, because there is no more feeling of the wife. In its place, something has come, so the wife goes away. Now we come into the Sankhara. Now the Sankharas happens due to Chetana, intention. So I intend to do something about my eyes and ears and nose and tongue and the body and the mind through its association with the rupa, which is the form, which is also can be called as the sights I want to see, the sound I want to hear, the taste I would like to have, the touch I would like to feel or have, the smell I would like to have, and the thoughts I need to have. There's an intention behind them. Again, without the contact, there cannot be any intention. Contact with what? With what? Contact with the particular sight and the sound and the taste and the touch and smell, with the eye and the ears and the nose and the tongue and the body and the mind. Again, as in the case of the form, I need to look at the Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path. All three are having phassa. So the mind comes into existence with contact and mind disappears when there is no contact. So this is how I can get rid of the rupa plus vedana, sanya, sankhara within brackets. It is dependent on the rupa. So now I see the dependent origination. The contact is dependent on the form. Now we come to the last portion, which is vijnana. Now what is the vijnana here? When the I comes, when there is an I and there were to be consciousness in the I, it associates itself with the sight. So we have chakku vijnana, sota vijnana, ghana vijnana, jibha vijnana, kaya vijnana and mano vijnana. The 6 types of consciousness. Like I was saying that you cannot perceive something else in the same way, eyes cannot connect with sound. They will connect only with the sight. Ear will connect only with the sound. Like that. You cannot force eyes to eat for today and the tongue to see for today. It will have its own respective consciousness. And there is another sutta which Buddha talks about, that what is consciousness. In that he says, example, like the tongue can identify different tastes. It can identify salt, it can identify sweet, it can identify astringent, it can identify sour, it can identify. There's no need for anybody to teach what it is, and that is what is called as consciousness. Now, how does this come into existence is that Nama Rupa Samudaya Vijnana Samudayo. So you need to have one side Nama and one side Rupa. So you need to have an Adivachana Sampasa, that is nomenclatures and designation, and Patigga Sampasa, which is striking through. As soon as the form strikes through, the Vijnana will connect using the Nama and Rupa. So you define something and you associate that definition that this is what it is. Like I am defining myself to be Vilas. The form is one thing and the Nama and Rupa is another thing, but I have an association that this body is associated with Vilas, which is the Nama, and hence the Rupa gets created in the mind, that is, this is my form. So the disassociation will happen when the Nama and Rupa is not there. So if I were to come out of concept of Vilas, then Nama Rupa Nirodho, Vijnana Nirodho. And what is the practice? Is the same as Aryo Attangiko Maggo Vijnana Nirodha Ghamini Patipata, which is Sammaditi to Samma Samadhi. So the formula here is Rupa plus mind, which is Vedana plus Sanya plus Sankhara, close the bracket, plus Vijnana. And this Vijnana is the one which gives the experience of whatever it is. If there is a wife, that experience which is coming as wife is coming due to Vijnana, because the Nama Rupa is wife and the husband and the son and the daughter and the house and the property and the money and the country and the continent and this and that and all the definitions, all the concepts which have been there are due to Nama and Rupa. So if that is Nirodha, then basically immediately you get peace, because the Rupa is gone and hence the Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara no longer are accessible, and there is Chitta Visuddhi happening automatically. So this would be a very good sutta to meditate, observing the breath, investigating the form, and then the feeling, then the perception, then the sankhara, volitional actions or choices or willful action, because there is an intention, and how Vijnana, consciousness, V plus Jnana, without knowledge. So this consciousness doesn't have the knowledge. It just associate and get disassociate when the form is changed. Looking at this way, one comes out of madness. So this can be used for Sakadagami to Arhat stage. And the practice is all the time. As soon as the Rupa comes, the Vedana comes, and the Sanya and Sankhara and Vijnana. So knowing that what is the form will give us Nibbidha, disillusionment, and that leads to Viraga, dispassion, Nirodha, cessation, Upasamaya, a sense of peace, Abhinyaya, seeing from a different perspective, Sambodhaya, experiencing the Four Noble Truths, Nibbanaya, the utmost happiness state, because the conditions is upadana, clinging on to, is no longer there, either to the form or to the feeling or to the perception or to the volitional actions, and finally to the consciousness. Okay, so that ends the meditation for today using this sutta. We can discuss if you have any questions. Yes, Sachin.
Now, at one point you said Vijnana means without knowledge.
V plus jnana, it is vijnana, without knowledge. So chitta is pure and it goes into 9 stages and becomes vijnana. There are 9 stages which takes place.
Like V prefix has many meaning, like vipassana. So it is deep seeing. So
That's correct, but actually vijnana, jnana is knowledge and V is without knowledge. What it has knowledge is, it has knowledge of distortion. So the chitta is the pure one and it turns itself into vijnana. So you should first look at how it changes into 9 states. It is there in Mahavidyala Sutta. You can go through it and you will find that there are 9, it goes in 9 states. So it starts with chitta and then becomes mano and then manasan, then hadayan, then pandharan, then manayatanan, mana indriyan, vijnana and vijnana khanda. So what we are talking here is the vijnana khanda. Rupa upadana khanda, then Vedana upadana khanda, the Sanya upadana khanda, Sankhara upadana khanda, and Vijnana upadana khanda. Khanda means heaps, so it is heaps of consciousness.
oh, so chitta, mano, hriday, and then finally vijnana. So these are higher. Mano, hriday.
Yes, so it starts with chitta. Pabhasaram idam chittam, it's pure light. Then there is coloring, so that coloring is mano, and then becomes manasan, then hadayan, then pandaran, then mana yatanan. Ayatana means house, so it creates its own home, and then mana indriyam, it becomes an indriya, it becomes a faculty by itself, and then vijnana, what we are talking is 8th one in the series. After
Okay, so I think in 9 stages, it is going from knowing to not knowing.
Yes.
Like that?
Yes. Yes. Because of hadayam. Hadayam means keeping something very dear. So it registers. So when it registers in a wrong way. Like wife. There was no wife before marriage. So it's a concept. Wife is a concept. Husband is a concept. Child is a concept. Right? And then I take that to be true. Okay, and when I take it to be true, it becomes my wife, my son, my daughter, my family, my house, my property, my money, my country, all of that. It is vinyana. So chakuncha paticca rupa upajjati chakku vinyanam is that vinyana what we are talking about, not the chitta. So when we say chitta visuddhi is coming back from the vinyana to chitta. Its original form, it's just light, nothing else.
No, come again. When you said Chakku Vijnana is not this 9 stage.
It is.
It is. No.
So when we say chitta visuddhi, it means that coming back to the original one. Original one is chitta.
Okay.
No coloring. Basically, you remove the color. When you remove the color, it is pure. When you add the color, it is distorted. So Vijnana is distorted consciousness. That's all. Because of Nama Rupa. So he says Nama Rupa Samudayo Vijnana Samudayo. Nama Rupa Nirodho Vijnana Nirodho. Nirodho means it doesn't exist. It ceases. So it is not a dead person. It's basically coming out of disillusion. The magician is seen. That's all, Sachin. It's all about magician. The magician here is that the consciousness treats something which never existed as though it is existing. Now you see, wife never existed. Neither the husband existed. It's a concept. You will not find a wife in the body of the person with whom you are leading your life. You will find another human being at the max, but you will never find a wife. But the Vijnana makes it as though you're staying with your wife and makes her feel as though she's staying with a husband. Right? And you try fighting it out. You try removing it. It cannot be removed. You will feel you have a wife. So there's a feeling, and there's a perception, and there is a Sankhara, and there is consciousness. So I feel I have a wife. I feel I'm staying in India. I feel I have a family. I feel I have a son. I feel I have a daughter. All of that creates perception. So sound and the sight and the taste and the touch and the smell of that being creates a perception that I am staying with that person who is my wife and son and daughter and all that. And I create sankharas which are based upon it, which is then the experience. Am I not experiencing my wife? Yes, I am experiencing. Am I not experiencing my son? Yes, I am. That is why it is called as distorted consciousness. It's completely distorted. So, Vijnana, as such, practicing on Vijnana is the most difficult. So, there is another sutta, which is Putta Mamsa Sutta. In that, he says that there are 4 kinds of food. Kabalinka Ahara is one food, Passa Ahara is second food, Mano Sanchetana Ahara is third food, and then the 4th food is Vijnana Ahara. And he says there, one who understands the Vijnana Ahara, there is nothing more to understand. It's cleared. So first our work should be on the gross, which is Rupa. If we dissect the Rupa, the Vedana goes away. If the Vedana goes away, the Sanya goes away. The Sanya goes away, the Sankhara goes away. And if the Sankhara goes away, then you see the magician. So this is a very good sutta for meditation, and since we spoke about this yesterday, and there were nice questions from you, I thought this sutta will help you to meditate on 4 noble truths and noble eightfold path And that also gives you the dependent origination. That on the form, the feeling is originated. Without the form, there is no feeling. If there is a feeling, there is going to be perception. Without the form and the feeling, there is no perception. And you will do Sankhara based upon the form plus feeling plus perception. And then you will have that experience through your eyes and ears and nose and tongue and the body and the mind, which is Vijnana.
At one point you said Chetasik Vedana. So you are trying to say Vedana and Chetasik Vedana is different. When I is there, it is Chetasik like that?
There are two Vedanas. So that 108 which I have shared, right? There are only two Vedana. One is a Kaya Vedana and Chetasika Vedana. Only two.
Okay, that way. Sorry. Chetasika I said no, so that Abhidhamma.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Okay, then practice and we'll see tomorrow with some more similar kind of sutta which will give you the insight on Vedana.
When we say Ajjitam Bahidda means always other person.
No. Bahidda means external. That's all. So it need not be a person. You can take anything you want. You can take a mobile phone. It has the same element, right? It has Patavi. So now I have this mobile phone. Let me take the mobile phone for an example, right? So it has softness. It has hard. Right? It is not me. And now I can touch the teeth, the jaws, head, each one of this, and I can find they both are same. The whole idea is to see the similarity rather than differences. The Nama Rupa is, this is mobile phone and this is Vilas. Whereas if I really touch, it is smooth, soft, hard, all of that. If I touch my head and all that, since I don't have hairs, it is again smooth or soft or hard or whatever. If I were to practice like that, then the nibbida will happen. That is disillusionment will happen. Okay, that's the whole idea of doing. So the bahidda is to see any object you see, including the laptop what I'm holding or the seat or the sofa or wherever I'm sitting and all of that. You just keep on observing. That is the awareness. So you keep on observing. Then you get that awareness. So when I become aware, I see it's all the same. Ajjata is also same. Bahidda is also same. So then I will let go of three things. One is craving, tanha, mana, conceit, ditti, views. Okay. So when I do that, what happens? It makes very peaceful, because this is made of the same element as this body. Okay, like if I were to speak in Hindi, भले इसका नाम मोबाइल हो सकता है, पर इसका जो मटेरियल है वो यही तो है.
The non-duality kind of experience.
Yes, absolutely. So now what happens to me is that the feeling gets changed now, becomes neutral. There is no sukha vedana, there is no dukkha vedana. There is neutral. Now the sanya, what happens? Perception, what happens? There is no perception. There is no perceiver to perceive anything.
But this is for you and me, I don't know about you. Until you become arhant, it is said that cessation of Vedana and Sanna is the 8th jhana.
9th.
Yeah. So till then we are always perceiving, right?
No. So I think you have misunderstood. So right now what you can do is, You can start with the first jhana, which is savitakka savichara. Okay, that means bringing a different thought and cutting the earlier thought and then pondering over that thought. So it comes into vitakka vichara. So the first jhana. Then piti sukha ekagata. The piti remains. So the second jhana. Then the third jhana you get sukha. And the fourth jhana is ekagata. Then you expand. So when you expand, you get infinite space. Akasha ananchayatana. Then you get into the vinyana ananchayatana. Then you come into the akinchayatana. That is, you literally see, Sachin, that there is nothing in this eye, nothing in this ear, nothing in this nose, nothing in this tongue, nothing in this body, nothing in the mind. You'll experience that. There's no home. Ayatana means home. So there is akinchayatana means nothingness. There's nothing there. It's just a reflection over the consciousness. There is no true sight, true sound, true taste, true touch and all that. Then you come into neva sanya, na sanya ayatana. The sanya is coming due to perception. So neither you can say I am perceiving this, or nor you can say I am not at all perceiving it, which is the eighth jhana. What it really means is that you are neither conscious or neither unconscious. Okay, and that is what it is. And now when you come into the ninth one, which is sanya vedaita nirodha, what it really means is that the perception is ended because there is no feeling any longer. Okay, now what it really means from a sotapanna to an arhat. In a sotapanna, that experience is very small. He has tasted, but he is not able to get into it because the hindrances are there and the fetters are there. So he has kamachanda and vyapada as a fetter. It starts loosening up at sakadagami level, wherein that the person loses interest to possess something because he knows there is nothing that can be possessed. Okay, so he can stay for a little more longer than a sotapanna in the ninth jhana. And anagami can stay for a long period of time because he doesn't have kamachanda and vyapada. And arhat is always there all the time. Whenever he wishes, he is there in that. Whenever he wants to interact, he can interact.
Okay.
That's all what it is. It doesn't mean that you cannot achieve it as a sotapanna or a sakadagami. You would have achieved it. But you wouldn't know that this is this is sanya vedaita nirodha.
Okay. So when Arhant is talking with me, he is in and out by this, right?
Yes.
It cannot be like you are in that
No.
jhana and talking to me.
No, not at all. Not at all possible.
Okay.
Not at all possible. What he does is that he doesn't have feeling over you and perception over you, even though knowing that you are Sachin. Let's assume that I'm an arhat talking to you. What would happen? I will talk to you in the normal way. But internally, I don't have anything called as Sachin Sharma.
Kind of dual personality.
Okay. No, not dual. Internally, I don't have. Just to correspond, you have to use language. So even Buddha talks in there is another sutta, Maha Nidana Sutta. It's a huge one, that sutta. In that he says, Adivachana is required. That means nomenclature, designation, title, all that is required because that is how you can correspond. Otherwise, there's nothing anybody can do. But when you correspond, you know that you are not corresponding with anyone. It's just adivachana. There is no samphassa, meaning there is no distortion of the contact. It just phassa. There would be Vedana. What Vedana? It is neutral Vedana. Upekha. There is nothing except for equanimity. Okay? So that is what an Arhat would be having. So if I am an Arhat, and that's all I should be having. If not, there is distortion. And if the distortion, it has 5 at this stage. I have Rupa Raga, I want to enjoy the 4 jhanas. Arupa Raga, I want to enjoy all the other Arupa jhanas. Then I have Mana, because I have conceived that I have achieved so much. Then there is Udacha, because there is restlessness, and there is Avijja. Presently, as an Anagami, I have these 5 fetters.
So you can call yourself Anagami?
No, I'm just saying, I don't want to call. You should tell me what you feel after talking to me, rather than I saying to you that I'm an Anagami or a Sakadagami or a Sotapanna. You should be able to make that rather than I making it, right? It looks like a designation now. Right? So what are the attributes? So in the morning I was talking to somebody and I was telling him that, look, you have to see 2 things in a person. One is his eyes, another one is the voice. If it is making you peaceful, that means that person has achieved a certain level, whatever that level is, whether it is Anagami stage or Sakadagami stage or whatever. Anything above Sotapanna but something below Arhat. Right? Now his eyes. What is there in his eyes? You should see. If you feel, wow, this guy has really something, it means he has achieved something. Or the voice is such that it gives you a peaceful, a comfortable way, and it makes you feel attracted, or it makes you feel that I need to listen to this person. That means he has reached beyond Sotapanna, can be a Saktagami, can be an Anagami, and also can be an Arhat. Right? So that is what you need to see. So when you are talking to me, you should see it in that way. What is happening to you? That is more important than I saying whatever I want to say. I can also say that I'm an Arhat. What will you do about it? Either you have to accept that I'm an Arhat, or you have to say that, no sir, I don't see that you are an Arhat. These are the only 2 things, right? So that is how you need to look at it, because I might say whatever I want to say. That is not main important. The important thing is that, is there a method where I can achieve something? And if that method is available, is this person following that method? Is he able to demonstrate? Is he able to say how it can be achieved? If yes, that means he's done something, right? Let us not call it as an Anagami or a Sakadagami or this Gami or that Gami. It doesn't matter. What matters is, does it work or doesn't it work? So Sachin, you should tell me.
I don't know the Lakhan of all that clearly. So I was thinking that some people says that, like Goenka and all, whether you are Sotapanna or not. He says, no, I don't know. So as if like, if I say, if it is a mana, right?
No,
That's when
like
people are hiding it.
No, it is not like that. Even in the sutta, in the Parinibbana Sutta, he doesn't say like that. He doesn't say that you should not declare whatever it is. He doesn't say that.
And second thing is, externally seeing, like lay people, right? Like me, cannot see from that divine eye.
No, you can see. No, Sachin, you can see. So don't think that you are a lay follower and you can't see, and somebody is a recluse and he can see. No, it's not like that.
Okay,
it's not, definitely not like that. It is very simple. How do I know somebody is what? I will tell you that also. what are the attributes about that person? So let's say I am a Sotapanna. Let's take from the beginning. Forget about Arhat. From the beginning. What's the attribute of a Sotapanna? Attribute of Sotapanna is that he understood Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. He has understood. Clear? Okay. So if he is able to explain the sutta, that means he is a Sotapanna. Okay. What happens is eventually he will let go of 3 fetters. Okay. What is the first fetter? The Ditti. Sakhaya Ditti will go. That means I am this body, I am this mind, I am that, all that will go away. Sila Bitta Paramasa, that means thinking that the rituals and all of that is going to give him liberation, that also will go away. What else will go away? What's the third one? The 3 things which will go away.
No, I have not studied that part.
Okay, so now you leave it. So basically, if you want to go on this, the 4, Arya Puggala, it is the Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami are 3 trainees. They are not literally achieved anywhere. Okay. The 4th one, Arhat, is the only one who has achieved everything. So in the Buddha Shasana, the Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami have been treated as trainee. Okay? Only Arhat is the one who doesn't require any further training. He has crossed. So it really doesn't matter trainee A, trainee B and trainee C. Right? So how does it matter whether I'm a Sotapanna or a Sakadagami or Anagami? Because I'm a trainee anyway. It's better to keep it that way. So many people, they don't want to proclaim that they are a Sotapanna or Sakadagami or Anagami because it doesn't make any sense, because it's a trainee only, right? It's like somebody calling an apprentice, and I'm calling myself as a junior apprentice, and somebody is a apprentice and somebody is a senior apprentice, but all the 3 are apprentice only, right?
But when you say he understood, right? Let's say Sotapan has understood something. It's not intellectual understanding, right?
No.
At subconscious level, that 16 vipassana nana has happened. Clear technical definition. That 16 vipassana nana has occurred into him.
Correct. See, you don't go so deep into it, and then you will get a real issue. You shouldn't go so much deep whether he is... See, this is intellectualization. What you are talking right now is intellectual. Forget all of that. What should be the change? So now there is a normal person wanting to become an apprentice. Okay? He joins Buddha Shasana. He says that, tell me how to start my apprentice. What should I learn? He says, learn Sila. Start with that. Understand what is Buddha, what is Dhamma, what is Sangha. That's all you do. And if you see the suttas also on Sotapanna, there are many suttas on Sotapanna. He doesn't talk about 16 things. He doesn't talk about anything. He only says Sila, Samadhi, Panya. And then he says that as a Sotapanna, what you need to have? You need to have faith in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and your Sila should be good. Don't break the Sila. That is all. As an apprentice, you are expected to do. Right? So I call you as a junior apprentice. I'll give you a certificate that you're a junior apprentice if you have really worked out that way. Done? No problems. So what will happen? The doubt is gone. Visik Icha is the doubt. So I don't have any doubt any longer that, okay, whether I join this, will I be able to become a manager, which is Arhat, right? Or will I now become from junior apprentice to apprentice, which is Sakadagami, and to senior apprentice, which is Anagami, and now I am totally a manager, right? So now I don't have a doubt. So the first fetter which is going to fall down is Visikiccha, which is skeptical doubt. What for second doubt is that I thought that I'll follow a process and I blindly follow the process. Now that also goes away, because now you find out there's nothing to be blindly followed. It has to be investigated. Vipassana jnana comes. Right? So that's what the second fetter is gone. Sila Bitta Paramasa. Okay? And then the third one, Sakhaya Ditti, because now you see Rupa is Rupa, Vedana is Vedana, Sanya is Sanya, Sankhara is Sankhara, Vijnana is Vijnana. At that time, you get a Niramisa Sukha, because there is no holding on to anything. So for a moment, you enter into the ninth jhana. But since you don't have the ability to stay for a long time, the Sotapanna is the person, that this junior apprentice is a person who has ability to move forward. Right? Sila being intact, he is struggling in Samadhi, and hence the Panya is not happening properly. In the Sakadagami stage, the Kamachanda and Vyapada, the two hindrances, or we can say two fetters, Sanyojana in Pali, are going to break away little by little, they keep on breaking. So his eyesight increases far better. Out of 16 jnanas, many of the jnanas are part of Sakadagami. Okay? It's not that at Sotapanna he has all jnana, means he is now a manager, simple, over. So what is the point in calling three apprentices now? A junior apprentice and a senior apprentice. Okay? And when he comes to the third one, he has been promoted as a senior apprentice, is because he no longer has Kama, Chanda and Vyapada. And then there is Vipassana Jnana increases so tremendously that it removes many of the hidden things. And hence he is completed his apprentice and ready to move into the next one. But still he is a trainee in the Buddha Shasana. He is not somebody who has got liberated. The only advantage now for him is he will be reborn in a place from where he will get liberated, because he doesn't have enough energy, enough karma as a seed to come into the womb existence. That's all. Okay. And in the Karaniya Metta Sutta, he makes it very clear. Very clearly he says, Punare Gabham Na. That means you are not coming back into this womb existence again. That's all. So, all the three are apprentice. So, if you were to call me an Anagami, I am still an apprentice. If you are calling me a Sakadagami, I am still an apprentice. If you are calling me, sir, you are seemingly like a Sotapanna, still an apprentice. Clear? So now you tell me, can't you now see and tell me? You can, if you want. But if you don't want to say, it's okay. But it doesn't matter whether I say or I don't say, I'm still an apprentice. So now the question is, am I a junior apprentice or a senior apprentice? Which looks stupidity, right? I'm still an apprentice. Why fight over it? Now you might say, sir, you're a junior. I say, no. Which I'm a senior apprentice, which clearly shows I have mana. So now you see the five fetters. Mana, Udacha. I'm restless to say that I'm an Anagami. So, Udacha, then I love to be in first and second and third and fourth jhana all the time. So Rupa Raga is there. And I would like to go from the infinite space to infinite consciousness and till the Neva Sanya Na Sanya Ayatana. So I have Arupa Raga and I have Avidya. Am I not an apprentice then? Yes, I am an apprentice. So what did I achieve? Only the womb existence is not going to be there. Clear? And hence I told you, whenever you follow somebody or whenever you meet somebody on Dhamma, you need to see the person's eye and the voice. Everything is only that. All the what we can say fermentation or the asavas are there in the eyes, are there in the voice. So in the Mangala Sutta, he says, Subhasita chava ya vacha etan mangalam uttamam.
Okay.
So if my voice is coming to you like a Subhasita, a nice, good rendering, then it's good. If it is irritating, or you are asking me questions and that is making me irritated, then that person is still a junior apprentice, not a senior apprentice. That's all. So there's a difference between theory and practice. I might have read a lot of things, but how do I practice is the question. So what I do for myself, I keep the theory aside. It's good because it has Visuddhi Magga is there and so many commentaries are there. The whole Tipitaka has a lot of information. So I to only collect those things which makes my journey faster. Once I cross, then I can read, no, what is there. And that's the whole thing. Because I don't have time. Who knows, tomorrow I might get up or I might not get up. What's the guarantee? And where I will be born, that is the most important thing. For me, personally, where I would be reborn is the most important thing. So knowing where I'll be reborn is what I am working out.
Okay.
That's the first thing. It doesn't matter whether I'm a Sotapanna or Sakdagami, Anagami or whatever it is. I know I'm an apprentice. That is for sure. I still have 5 fetters. That also I know. That's simple. So if you want to call that as an Anagami, oh, so be it. If you want to call that as no, I don't think so, it is a Sakadagami, okay. Because I should know where I am going. You cannot know where I am going. I should know where I am going. Correct? So it doesn't really matter to me. What matters is, what if the life ends in sleep? And where does that lead to? Whether it leads to Kama, Kamaloka, or it leads to Brahmaloka. If it comes to Kamaloka, the Devaloka also has Kama. So all are in Kama. Do I have enough paramis to get into the Devaloka? Have I practiced the 4 Brahma Viharas? Have I been practicing it for a long time so that at the time of death, that thought comes? That is most important. Not about what designation and what it is, and am I Sotapanna or a Sakadagami or Anagami, or the 16 Jnana should be there and that should be there. It doesn't really matter. What matters is, where am I going? That's the most important thing. then I can work out. Hope, Sachin, I did not bore you with that. You're on mute.
Yeah. No, I'm learning a lot. I'm writing it also down and then reading it again tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. No, I just don't wanted to give you too much of information and make you feel bored. Oh my goodness, so many things are there. Actually, the lesser the clutter, the lesser the reading, the better. The more the practice, that's the best.
Okay.
Because we spend most of the time in reading and investigating and understanding Pali and doing this and doing that. Nothing of that is required. Take one small thing, just like you take a, let's say somebody were to drink whiskey and he would put a small glass of whiskey with full of ice. Now I would like to have a nice sip. Buddha Dhamma should be taken in that way. Take a small one. Investigate, go deeper, look at it, what it is, how it is. That's all what is required. You don't require this big packet of food, you only require this much, and that's all. It doesn't matter whether I have 16 jnana or I don't have. It doesn't really matter. What matters is, have I understood the Buddha Dhamma or not? Do I know what is Buddha? Do I know what is Dhamma? What is Sangha? These three things I need to be extremely clear.
What is Sangha?
There is no Supatipanno Arahato Savaka Sango Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sango
But my question is, all the people are Sangha or only the Arhants are Sangha?
It's not like that. It's not defined that way. First is, you need to know what is Buddha. Itipiso Bhagava Arahan Samma Sambuddho. That one you should know in depth, not in surface level. Okay, I have a video on my channel and you can go through that. Or we can take it up tomorrow when we meet. What is Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha? That also we can do one session. So that is the first thing you need to know. Once you know what is Buddha, you need to observe whether you can see Buddha when you close your eyes. Okay, then only you get faith, saddha. If that doesn't happen, it's not going to work out. It's not about whether I have an idol of Buddha at my home. No. I need to know two things about Buddha. One is iti imasmim sati idam hoti imassa uppada idam upajjati. Iti imasmim asati idam na hoti imassa nirodha idam nirujjati. This is the starting point, the formula for paticca samutpada. This first thing I need to understand correctly. Okay. Then the second one. Yo mam passati, so dhammam passati. Yo paticca samutpadam passati, so dhammam passati. Okay. What it really means is, one who sees me in the Dhamma, and one who sees the Dhamma sees it in paticca samutpada. Clear? That is all Buddha is all about. There's nothing else other than that. If I've understood that, and then I can recite iti piso bhagava araham samma sambuddho vidya charana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purusa dhamma sarati satta deva manussanam buddho bhagava iti. Now what is Dhamma? Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sandittiko akaliko yehi passiko upanaiko pachattam veditabbo vinyuhi iti. Why? Because the Dhamma is ageless, timeless, because paticca samutpada works all the time. If this is there, that happens. If this itself is not there, that will never happen. So, yadidam, only when the birth is there, death is going to happen. If the birth itself is not there, where is going to be death? That is the answer to the question from the Buddha. How does being come to be? And how does the being go? So he says, when Asaji came and Sariputta wanted to find out, when he wanted to join the Dhamma and the Sangha, he asked this question, whom are you learning? And he says, Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. If there is anything that is getting joined even for a brief period of time, it will get disentangled. It gets totally disintegrated. If anything is integrating, then that should get into disintegration. Okay? So law of thermodynamics, I was talking with Ariu in the morning. So it is the same thing. The matter and energy, they cannot be created, nor they can be destroyed, but they can change shapes. Number one, to maintain a particular state, you have to keep on providing energy, which is what we are doing right now. But they integrate to disintegrate. Right? You take a coffee or tea, it turns cold. No matter how much you heat it up, it turns cold. So by nature, the energy keeps on dissipating. Right? So yam kinchi samudaya dhammam. If anything that were to be arising, sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. It has a way of disintegration. Nirodha, cessation. It will cease to exist. So if I am a follower of the Buddha, then the Dhamma is this one. Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. And I am having a Sangha of those people who are Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sango, Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sango, Nayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sango, Samichi Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sango, Yadidam Chattari Purisa Yugani, Artha Purisa Puggala, Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sango, Ahunayo, Pahunayo, Dakkinayo, Anjali Karaneyo, Pachattam Vedi Tappo Vinyuhi iti. Oh, sorry. Punyakettam Lokasa iti. This is how I need to investigate. Then I have faith in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And when I have the faith in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, my Sila Visuddhi happens. And because of Sila Visuddhi happens, I turn myself into a Sotapanna. Because the Sakkaya Ditti will automatically go away. Because the Visikiccha and the Sila Vitta Paramasa goes away. Then I practice about Kama, Chanda and Vyapada. So it starts breaking out, and then I enter into Sakadagami. Then I practice removal of Kama, Chanda and Vyapada. That gets into Anagami. And then my journey begins from an apprentice to a manager, which is Arhat. This is the steps. So what I should know? Only Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha and Sila. That's all. Nothing else. To begin with. Then slowly add new things. Just like a plate filled with little bit food. Sufficient. Then you add pastries and this and that and all that. Okay. Now I know how to eat. That's how I would do, Sachin. Rather than reading too much on Dhamma, I will only take little bit and practice. Naveen, do you have anything? Okay. Aryu, you want to add something? No. Okay. So let's end. It's almost 10:17 here. It was time to hit the bed again. With a presumption that tomorrow we are going to meet up.
Nice to meet you, Sachin.
Yeah, he has joined recently and his questions have been very good. Yesterday he asked some very good questions. We could not record it. So today I thought bring out the same questions and record it.
I think, Sachin, you've been in some previous videos, right? You just recently joined the group, the WhatsApp group, but I remember Sachin was asking a bunch of questions in previous videos.
There's another Sachin.
Oh, okay.
That Sachin is in London.
Oh, okay.
So he also asked a lot of questions, and this Sachin is in Mumbai, Bombay.
Okay, got it.
Gujarat.
Gujarat. Okay, he's from Gujarat. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. Okay, if we don't have anything else, then we can end for today and meet up tomorrow. So if required, we can go through the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha and Sila tomorrow. That helps us to practice. Okay, Aryu, good day to you and enjoy your day. And for us, three of us, it's the night. Namo Buddhaya.
Good night.
Good night.